So, I decided to talk today about my time in a medium secure psychiatric ward, well, hospital, because I've never really talked much about it in detail, and lots of people on YouTube have talked about their time in psychiatric hospitals, but there doesn't seem to be much about secure hospitals. I spent 2 years in psychiatric hospitals and 7 months of that was spent in a secure ward. I was transferred from the open unit when they decided that they couldn't keep me safe anymore. I found out that I was being transferred about 11 o'clock at night, and I think it was 8 AM the next morning I was in an ambulance on my way, and it was a 4.5 hour drive. So not only was this whole transition really scary, but I was so far away from my family, and it was awful. To say I was terrified is an understatement. All I could do was cry. There was a massive 20-foot fence all the way around, like a prison fence that had the curved tops so people can't climb over. And my dad cried when he left me there. I was sectioned, so I didn't have a choice. My dad didn't have a choice. In the secure hospital, you're not allowed any of your things. When you get changed in the morning, they pick out your clothes out of the locker where all your stuff's kept. They choose it and give it to you, and then you hand them your pyjamas. You literally have the clothes you're wearing and everything else is locked away. And that in itself, I felt took away a huge part of my identity. You've always got somebody with you. When you're showering, when you go to the toilets, always. And this isn't just sort of in the same room, this is eye contact, so they have to be maintaining eye contact or looking at your face. And it's horrible. I actually refused to go to the toilet. I just couldn't bring myself to do it until the point where I started getting quite unwell from not going. I personally didn't really get on with anyone. There was one girl who was also there who'd been transferred to the same unit from the hospital I was in, who I'd known from before. She was the only person really I felt I could ever relate to in there. I remember Christmas Day that I spent in there. My dad, I'm going to try not to get emotional thinking about this, but my dad came to visit me, and he brought my presents, and we were sitting in a room with a nurse, and I got to unwrap each present, and then it was taken away from me and locked away. I was stripped of my identity and decent social interaction and any right to choose anything. Even though the weekends, you would just be sat in the room all day, because then doctors weren't there and activities didn't happen. During the week they did try and put things in place, and then we'd also have classes teaching us things, like coping mechanisms, stuff like that. We actually used to be taught how to do mindfulness, which is quite popular now, but back then I'd never heard of it, and so that really helped. Obviously a lot of the bad memories and stuff, I was very unwell anyway, so it's going to have negative memories and connotations, very far away from my family. And it was just a horrible time in my life.